Hello everyone. I welcome you all to our classes for International English Olympiad for class 8th. Today is our 18th class wherein we will be doing the topic of voices. For voices we will be understanding active voice and passive voice and their conversions, for which we will also be understanding various rules. Alright, so let's get started.
Okay, so what is voice of a verb? Now the first question is, what is voice of a verb? तो voice से क्या होता है? Voice expresses whether the subject in the sentence has performed or received the action. Now this might sound a little confusing to you. Let me repeat and let me explain it to you. Voice क्या करती है? Voice का एक काम है बस. Voice हमें ये बताती है whether the subject जो है सेंटेंस में जो भी सब्जेक्ट है वो इन दोनों में से कौन सी चीज कर रहा है. या तो वो एक्शन परफॉर्म कर रहा है या वो एक्शन रिसीव कर रहा है. तो वॉइस हमें किसके बारे में बताते हैं? सब्जेक्ट के बारे में. Either the subject is performing the action or the subject has received the action, and the voice tells us exactly that. Alright, so let's see the examples here. Now here, watchman opens door. Watchman opens door. So subject क्या है यहाँ पे? Subject is watchman. Okay. So यहाँ पे watchman क्या कर रहा है? Watchman is opening the door, which means the watchman is performing the action. What is he doing? He is performing. Here, don't mind my handwriting. I'm writing with the laptop pen. Sorry. Yeah. So watchman opens door, which means he is performing the action. क्या action? Door को open कर रहा है कौन? Watchman. Next sentence you see, the door is opened by the watchman. Now here, यहाँ पे जो subject था हमारा watchman, यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? Watchman जो है वो action receive कर रहा है, which means the door is being opened by the watchman. So यहाँ पे जो हमारा watchman है ना वो बन गया receiver. पहले था performing, now he is receiving. Okay. So voice है, voice में हम अलग अलग पढ़ेंगे अब active and passive, but आपको पहले ये समझ लेना है कि voice हमें क्या purpose यहाँ पे क्या है. यही बताना कि जो subject है sentence में वो action को perform कर रहा है या receive कर रहा है. This is going to be the basic idea. Alright, let's move on. Okay, so as I told you, we are going to be studying two broad forms. One is going to be the active voice and other is going to be the passive voice. इसमें से एक हमें बताएगी कि the subject is performing the action, the other one will tell us that the subject is receiving the action. Okay, let's see. Okay, so here we have the active voice. Now, active voice में क्या हो रहा है? When an action expressed by the verb is performed by the subject, it is an active voice. क्या बोला था मैंने आपको कि इसमें से हमें एक voice बताएगी कि action जो है वो perform हो रहा है किससे? Subject से. तो subject जब action perform कर रहा है, it becomes the active voice. मतलब जब subject हमारा active है, मतलब active कैसे है कि वो खुद ही action perform कर रहा है, तो वो हो गई active voice. So active voice is used when more straightforward relation and clarity is required between the subject and verb. मतलब active voice हम use करते हैं जब हमें straightforward sentence relations बताने हैं, एक subject और verb में clarity चाहिए. Alright, now you will see these are pretty straightforward sentences. Passive voice कुछ लोगों को काफी confusing भी लगती है, but let me tell you, there's nothing to be confused about. Active and passive voice are pretty simple, pretty easy if you understand the basic concept. Basic concept क्या है हमारा कि एक subject है, subject या तो action perform करेगा या receive करेगा. अगर subject action perform कर रहा है तो active voice हो गई, और passive voice क्या होगी वो हम अभी आगे देखेंगे. For the time being, active voice के example you see here. Hen lays eggs, birds build nests. These are मैंने बहुत ही simple examples लिए हैं आपके लिए. Hens lay eggs. क्या है यहाँ पे subject? Hens. यहाँ पे second sentence में subject? Birds. What are they doing? Hens are doing the action of laying eggs. What are birds doing? Birds are doing the action of building nests. Pretty easy, right? So these become active voices. क्यों? क्योंकि यहाँ पे जो subject है वो active है. How? Because the subject is performing these actions. All right, that's for the active voice. Now passive voice. The second category is the passive voice. Passive voice में क्या होता है? When the action expressed by the verb is received by the subject. जो action है, जो verb हमें बताता है action, verb क्या होता है? Verb जो word है, which tells us the action. So whatever the action जो perform हो रहा है या express हुआ है verb की वजह से, जो receive अगर subject कर रहा है तो क्या हो गया ये? Passive voice. So when is passive voice used? Passive voice is used when the doer of the action is not known and the focus of the sentence is on the action and not the subject. Okay, let's read it slowly. Passive voice is used when the doer is not known and the focus किस पे है? Focus is on the action. Focus हम यहाँ पे action पे कर रहे हैं, not the subject. ठीक है, क्योंकि subject जो है यहाँ पे receive करेगा action. Okay. Let's see here in the examples. Eggs are laid by hens. तो यहाँ पे हम focus किस पे कर रहे हैं? Laying of eggs पे, कि eggs are laid. और by कौन? Hens. तो ये hens जो हमारा subject है, what are they doing? They are receiving the action, which is eggs are laid. Okay. Similarly, nests are built. This is an action. Who is performing this action? Birds. So what are the birds doing? They are performing the action. Sorry. They are receiving the action. Performing the action होता तो active voice हो जाता. So here, eggs are laid by hens, passive voice. Nests are built by birds, passive voice. Hens and birds जो हमारा subject है, what are they doing? They are receiving the action. All right. That is for the basic meaning of voice and active voice and passive voice. I hope you have understood. Okay, so now we have these rules. अब हमें active voice और passive voice ऐसे directly तो हो सकता है पूछें ना पूछें, but important इसमें क्या है? Active to passive voice rules for conversion of sentence. मतलब अगर हमें किसी सेंटेंस को एक्टिव से पैसिव में या पैसिव से एक्टिव में चेंज करना है तो हम कैसे करेंगे? उसके लिए हम सर्टेन रूल्स फॉलो करेंगे. ओके, दीज आर प्रिटी सिंपल. यू डोंट हैव टू बी स्कैर्ड कि रूल्स बता रहे हैं, वी हैव टू मेमोराइज देम. देयर इज नो सच थिंग. एक बस बेसिक आइडिया के लिए मैंने रूल फॉर्मेट में आपको दिया है ताकि आपको बेटर अंडरस्टैंडिंग हो. देयर इज नथिंग टू बी स्कैर्ड अबाउट. ओके, इट्स गोइंग टू बी वेरी इजी. It's going to be a piece of cake. Let's see. First rule is identify the subject plus verb plus object. Okay. So subject, verb and object को हमें identify करना है in the active sentence to convert to the passive voice. पहले identify करना है. मतलब हमें पता होना चाहिए कि subject क्या है, verb क्या है, object क्या है. Subject यहाँ पे क्या है? The main idea, the main focus. He drives car. Verb तो हमें पता है. Verb क्या बताता है हमें? Verb is the word that tells us about the action. So क्या action हो रहा है यहाँ पे? Driving हो रही है, drives. So verb हो गया. और car किस पे action हो रहा है? Object पे. Object क्या है हमारा? Car. Okay, pretty easy. अपने sentence में हमको बस subject और verb और object identify करना है. Rule 1 हो गया. Step 1 हमारी complete. ठीक है. Second step, rule 2. Interchange the object and subject with each other. क्या होता है कि object of the active sentence becomes the subject of the passive sentence. कि एक sentence का जो पहले sentence में subject था वो passive voice में जाके ना ऑब्जेक्ट बन जाता है, और जो पहले सेंटेंस में ऑब्जेक्ट था वो सब्जेक्ट बन जाता है. लेट मी टेल यू दिस वे. wait. Now this is the first sentence. ये एक्टिव सेंटेंस है और ये पैसिव सेंटेंस है. तो यहाँ पे जो सब्जेक्ट है हमारा, ठीक है, यहाँ पे जो सब्जेक्ट है ये यहाँ पे जाके ऑब्जेक्ट बन जाता है, और यहाँ पे जो हमारा ऑब्जेक्ट है एक्टिव सेंटेंस, एक्टिव वॉइस में, वो बन जाता है वहां पे जाके हमारा सब्जेक्ट. ऑलराइट, लेट्स सी हाउ. जैसे एक्टिव वॉइस में है शी निट्स स्वेटर. ओके, यहाँ पे सब्जेक्ट क्या है? शी, फोकस है. एक्शन क्या हो रहा है वर्ब के हिसाब से? निट. और ऑब्जेक्ट किस पे एक्शन हो रहा है? स्वेटर पे. तो स्वेटर हो गया ऑब्जेक्ट. ठीक है, अब इसे हमें पैसिव वॉइस में चेंज करना है. फर्स्ट स्टेप कर लिया हमने, आइडेंटिफाई कर लिया. सेकेंड स्टेप में द स्वेटर इज निटेड बाय हर. तो यहाँ पे क्या हुआ? स्वेटर आ गया. स्वेटर जो है वो क्या बन गया? वो बन गया हमारा सब्जेक्ट, फिर निटेड वर्ब तो सेम रहेगा पर बाय हर. हियर बाय हर हैज बिकम द ऑब्जेक्ट. तो यहाँ पे फोकस किस पे शिफ्ट हो गया है? फोकस शिफ्ट हो गया स्वेटर पे, कि हम स्वेटर के बारे में बता रहे हैं. एक्टिव वॉइस में हम बता रहे थे शी के बारे में कि व्हाट डज शी डू, व्हाट डज शी निट. शी निट्स स्वेटर. बट यहाँ पे पैसिव वॉइस में हमारा फोकस आ गया स्वेटर पे, कि स्वेटर इज निटेड बाय हूम? द स्वेटर इज निटेड बाय हर. तो यहाँ फोकस जिस पे आ गया वो बन गया हमारा सब्जेक्ट. सब्जेक्ट बन गया ऑब्जेक्ट और ऑब्जेक्ट बन गया सब्जेक्ट. ऑलराइट, दिस वाज द सेकंड रूल. Okay, so in passive voice, sometimes the subject is not used. Why is it not used? Subject in passive voice can be omitted. मतलब उसे छोड़ सकते हैं if the sentence without it gives enough meaning. Okay, अगर sentence enough है तो हमें जरूरी नहीं है कि हमें subject हमें include करना ही करना है. Alright, this is another rule which you can keep in your mind. Let's move on. Okay, so here now we have the next category of rules. Here it says okay, so here rule 4 says change the base verb in active sentence into the past participle. This is a very important rule. You star mark this slide. Change the base verb in the active sentence into the past participle. मतलब third form of the verb in passive sentence, and it has to be preceded by या with या to. So any of these words ये आएंगे. And base verbs are never used in passive voice sentences. इसमें हम क्या कह रहे हैं? इसमें क्या होगा? जो base verb है ना active sentence में, वो change हो जाएगा in the past participle, which is the third form verb in the passive sentence. ठीक है, पास्ट पार्टिसिपल में चेंज हो जाएगा और एक वर्ड और ऐड हो जाएगा इसमें से, बाय, विद, टू. इनमें से कोई भी एज पर द सिचुएशन. ये हमें समझ आ जाएगा, अभी देखते हैं. एक्टिव वॉइस में अगर हम कह रहे हैं शी प्रिपेयर्स डिनर, तो इसको हमने पैसिव वॉइस में चेंज करने के लिए हमने कर तो दिया, इसका सब्जेक्ट को ऑब्जेक्ट बना दिया, ऑब्जेक्ट को सब्जेक्ट बना दिया, पर जो वर्ब है ना प्रिपेयर्स, ये भी हो जाएगा पास्ट पार्टिसिपल. क्या हुआ इसका पास्ट पार्टिसिपल? The dinner is prepared by her. Okay. Next example. Here it says she know him. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. It should be she knows him. Okay. Passive voice में change हो जाएगा. He is known to her. यहाँ पे क्या आ गया? To आ गया, और जो verb है वो past participle हो गया, knows का known. Alright. Similarly, active. Juice fills the jar. So इसका passive voice में the jar is filled with juice. Juice से jar भर गया. So the jar is filled with juice. All right. So here subject, verb and object, तीन चीजें हैं. Active, passive में change करने के लिए पहले तो हम subject, verb, object identify हो गया. फिर यहाँ पे क्या है? पास्ट पार्टिसिपल जो चेंज हो रहा है मतलब जो वर्ब चेंज हो रहा है इनटू द पास्ट पार्टिसिपल. ओके, द बेस वर्ब जो भी एक्टिव से पैसिव में हम जब चेंज कर रहे हैं. ऑल राइट. Okay, now another one. Here, while conversion of active voice sentence to passive voice sentence, the pronoun used in the sentence also changes in the following manner. जो pronouns है, pronouns भी change होंगे because as per the situation, मतलब हम जब examples देखेंगे, जब questions करेंगे तो आपको ये ज़्यादा clearly समझ आएगा. But आपको बस एक ये चीज़ देखनी है कि active pronoun changes into the passive pronoun. अब एक्चुअली ये करना हम ये भी कर रहे हैं. उसके बाद वी विल डू क्वेश्चंस आल्सो. तो क्वेश्चंस के बाद आपको थोड़ी क्लैरिटी मिल जाएगी. आफ्टर दैट यू रीड दीज रूल्स अगेन, तो आपको ना और अच्छे से समझ आएंगे. ओके, सो आई चेंजेस टू मी, वी चेंजेस टू अस, he changes to him, she changes to her, they change to them, you changes to you, you stays you, it stays it. All right. Okay, so another rule, use the suitable helping or auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verbs क्या होते हैं? The helping verbs. So use the suitable verb. The rules for using auxiliary verbs in passive voice sentences are different for each tense. जैसे the letter is written by her. यहाँ we using is. Auxiliary verb क्या है? Is. A book was not bought by her. तो was auxiliary verb है यहाँ पे. Chocolates are being eaten by them. अब इसके एक्टिव वॉइस एक्टिव सेंटेंस सपोज ये था, लेटर इज रिटन बाय हर, तो she writes a letter, she writes the letter, she is writing the letter. ओके, तो उसका she is writing the letter नहीं होगा, यहाँ पे कंटिन्यूस नहीं है. she writes the letter, तो इसका हो गया the letter is written by her. So is, was, are being, all these are auxiliary helping verbs which are being added as per the demand of the sentence. All right. All right. So here what do we have? We have forms of the active and passive voice for all tenses. कि tenses में कैसे कैसे conversion होता है, ये आपको और clarity मिलेगी. यहाँ पे हम examples ले रहे हैं. Okay. Like here we are starting with the simple present tense. Simple present tense active sentences हैं, passive में कैसे लिखेंगे? हमने कैसे पढ़ा था? Past participle में convert होगा. तो यहाँ पे notes पढ़ लेते हैं कि except certain exemptions, कोई भी no passive voice formation for the following tenses can be formed. Present perfect continuous tense, past perfect continuous tense, future perfect continuous tense और future continuous tense. तो इनके लिए पैसिव वॉइस फॉर्मेशन नहीं हो सकती एक्सेप्ट फॉर सर्टेन एग्जाम्पशंस. कोई ना कोई एग्जाम्पशंस मिल ही जाएंगे. ऑल राइट, बट हियर लेट्स फोकस ऑन सिंपल प्रेजेंट. सिंपल प्रेजेंट टेंस, एक्टिव सेंटेंस एंड पैसिव सेंटेंस. ठीक है, हियर एग्जाम्पल, ही राइट्स एन एसे एंड पैसिव इसको कैसे? सब्जेक्ट वर्ब, या सब्जेक्ट वर्ब एंड ऑब्जेक्ट. सब्जेक्ट को ऑब्जेक्ट बनाया, ऑब्जेक्ट को सब्जेक्ट बनाया. एन एसे इज रिटन बाय हिम. यहाँ पे देखो क्या आ गया? ऑक्सिलरी वर्ब भी आ गया. हमारा जो ये हेल्पिंग प्रेपोजिशन आनी थी वो भी आ गई. ठीक है, वर्ब जो है पास्ट पार्टिसिपल में चेंज भी हो गया. ही राइट्स एन एसे इज रिटन बाय हिम. ऑलराइट, देन शीना डज द हाउसवर्क. द हाउसवर्क इज डन बाय शीना. She cares for the rabbit. Now the rabbit is being cared for by her. Jacob always plays the guitar. The guitar is always played by Jacob. Subject को हमने object बनाया, object को हमने subject बनाया. Auxiliary verb add हुआ. Then this is helping preposition like by, with, whom, which is added, and past participle. All right, this is pretty easy. आपको देखने में लग रहा होगा काफी सारे रूल्स हैं, बट एक बार यू गेट द हैंग ऑफ इट ना, प्रैक्टिस करोगे तो आपको ये सोचने की भी जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी कि ठीक है सब्जेक्ट को ऑब्जेक्ट बनाया नहीं बनाया, फिर पास्ट पार्टिसिपल, वो आपको नेचुरली आने लग जाएगा. ऑल यू नीड इज प्रैक्टिस. आफ्टर ऑल, प्रैक्टिस मेक्स अ मैन परफेक्ट. Alright, so now the next one is present continuous tense. Present continuous tense, let's see, examples are like here. They are eating bananas, the bananas are being eaten by them. And Bob is drawing a diagram, the diagram is being drawn by Bob. Samta is playing the piano is being played by Samta. She is waiting for Reema. Present continuous है ना? Is waiting. Change हो गया किसमें? Reema बन गई जो हमारा object था. Reema became the subject and she आप देख लो she जो pronoun है it is also being changed into her. Similarly first example में भी they जो है it became what? Them. मैंने बोला था ना हम एग्जाम्पल्स पढ़ेंगे तो आप देखोगे अपने आप कैसे चेंज हो रहा है. तो ये प्रोनाउंस भी चेंज हो रहे हैं. ऑलराइट, सो रीमा इज बीइंग वेटेड बाय हर. क्या क्या हो रहा है? सब्जेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट में बदल गया, ऑब्जेक्ट सब्जेक्ट में बदल गया, वर्ब का पास्ट पार्टिसिपल हो गया, ऑक्सिलरी वर्ब भी आ गया, प्रोनाउन भी चेंज हो गया. ऑलराइट, नाउ आर यू रिमेंबरिंग ऑल दोस रूल्स दैट वर बीइंग टॉट राइट नाउ? Okay, now we move on to the simple past tense. Herein, you see, Ria paid the bills. The bills were paid by Ria. Simple past है, past participle हो गया. The teacher called the student. The student was called by the teacher. She did not buy the fruits. The fruits were not bought by her. So you see, subject वर्ब एंड ऑब्जेक्ट की एग्रीमेंट समझी. सब्जेक्ट को ऑब्जेक्ट में बदला, ऑब्जेक्ट को सब्जेक्ट में बदला. वर्ब जो है हमने उसका पास्ट पार्टिसिपल में कर दिया. ठीक है, फिर हमने ऑक्सिलरी वर्ब भी ऐड कर दिया जहां जहां चाहिए था. फिर हमारा ये वर्ड्स लाइक बाय, विद, टू जो एज पर सिचुएशन वो भी ऐड कर दिया. ऑलराइट, okay, so here we have past continuous tense. Let's see how it is being changed. They are waiting for him. He was being waited by them. Right. Aastha was learning French. French was being learned by Aastha. And she was playing kabaddi. The kabaddi was being played by her. She got converted to her. Okay, so relate these with the rules जो हमने पढ़े हैं. Subject verb, subject and object, the pronouns, the auxiliary verbs. That's how you will learn and you won't really have to memorize them. आपको ऐसे याद ही रखना पड़ेगा. All this will start coming naturally to you once you start practicing. Alright, so the next one is past perfect tense. Now past perfect tense, let's see how this one changes. Examples, 2 examples. She won the match. This one, it's converted to the match had been won by her. I had finished her work. Then her work had been finished by me. You see, I got changed to me. Right? He had missed the last metro. The last metro had been missed by him. Okay? This is past perfect tense. I hope you are relating these with the rules. Subject and object, object and subject, auxiliary verbs, the pronouns. Right? ऐसे आप rules आप यहाँ देखोगे सारे rules follow हो रहे हैं. Okay? Okay, so here this one says, this one is simple future tense. Simple future tense, how will it change? Changing to the past participle. Let's see. He will write a letter. A letter will be written by him. Okay. He will repair her cycle. Her cycle will be repaired by him. He shall start the meeting. The meeting will be started by him. All right. So this is for the simple future. Okay, now we have future perfect tense. See, Meena will not have to change the bed sheet. The bed sheet will not have been changed by Meena. Okay, I'm sorry, this should be they. They will have won the match. Okay, they will have won the match. The match will have been won by them. Reena will have washed the skirt. The skirt will have been washed by Reena. All right. All right. So with this, we finish off with the active and passive voice. I hope you have understood the rules and the various changes that we sought. Okay, now we will be moving on towards the quiz जिसमें आपको और clarity होगी. Okay, let's start. All right. So for the quiz, what we will be doing is, now every question you will be given 1 minute. 1 minute means 60 seconds. Why am I giving you 1 minute? Because you see, your question paper of IEO, it has about 50 questions, and so you can imagine that you get more or less a minute to answer the questions. Now this 1 minute is the maximum that you should be taking for answering the question. Now suppose there could be two, three categories of students. First category is, suppose you answer the question within that 1 minute. So I would request you to fast forward the video and skip right to the answer. You should not be wasting your time. All right. Now the other students who are not able to answer the question in 1 minute, what you do, you don't skip to the answer. You pause the video and you write down your answer. Alright, it is very important to answer each and every question because there is no negative marking. Here you see, for every incorrect answer, no points, because there is no negative marking in IEO, so it is important that you attempt all the questions. Now for a question of which you are not sure about the answer, now even here and even in the exam, if you are not sure about the answer and you maybe think that B option might be correct or C option might be correct, so you should in that case play your luck and play your mind and make a guess and still give an answer, because it is a win-win situation. Either you will get the marks for that question or you will get a 0, right? But if you don't attempt that question at all, then you are anyway getting a 0 in that, right? So it is good to attempt those questions, and even if you don't know all the answers, try to understand and take a guess. Okay, so this is for every correct answer 10 points. This is just for your own little game where you can try to maintain a notepad. So here you write the name of the chapter and then the question, and then if it is correct you can give yourself 10 points. If it is not correct, you mark it here. So it is important to see these questions, the ones which you mark incorrect. It is important to go back to them later and then see where you did the mistake. Alright, this is just for your reference. For every correct answer you can give yourself 10 points. Alright, now let's start. Alright, so now we start off with our questions for voice, active and passive voice. Here in this first category of questions, what we have to do is fill in the blanks with the correct passive verbs. So here we have delicious and nutritious food dash by my mother. Is being cooked, is cooked, will cook, or was being cooked. Pretty easy because you know for the passive form we use the past participle, the V3. And in these option, where is the V3? Here in B option. So is cooked by my mother. Very easy question. Let's see if there are more difficult questions or just easy ones like this. Alright, here we have. All these occurs dashed by the owner last year. Have sold, has been sold, were sold, or are being sold. Now all of them have, all of these options, they have the V3 form of sell, which is sold. Okay, but here the correct answer is, no, something that has happened last year. So all these occurs were sold. Okay, this has happened in the past. They were sold by the owner last year. Alright. Others, you know, have sold, has been sold. These are all variants of the present form. Okay, here Alicia dash a beautiful gift by her mother tomorrow. Tomorrow we're talking about the next day. Okay. First of all, let's see the verbs having the V3 form. Here in B we do not have a V3 form, so this anyway gets cancelled. Now others you see, we have to talk, we're talking about tomorrow, so future tense. The correct answer is A. Will be given. Alicia will be given a beautiful gift by her mother tomorrow. Okay. Now here you see C1. C is given. Now this talks about present. Shall given. Here we don't have B in middle. So you know this is also incorrect. Correct answer is A. Okay, here. A novel dash written by Amish these days. Has been written, is written, will be written, or is being written. Now here the word which is giving us the hint is which one? Is here you see these days. So we are talking about the present. Alright. And also here the V3 form is anyway given. We just have to fill in the auxiliary verb. The correct answer is D, is being written. Because we are talking about something that's been happening. Okay, it is a continuous form. So a novel is being written. Okay, has been is the present perfect, is could be used for simple present, will is for future. Okay, now the next one we have, yesterday a car dashed by a police train. Has been towed, was towed away, was being towed, or has towed away. Okay, now first of all you see yesterday, yesterday which means it shows that it is this action was being done in the past, which is yesterday, right? And then you see we have to use the V3 form which is towed, T-O-W-E-D. So here C is anyway incorrect. And here the correct answer is B, was stored away. Okay, because it is talking about the past. And the others has been told, has stored away, these are the forms of present tense. Alright, now next we have the crop of wheat dashed by the hailstone. Will be ruined, will ruin, or has been ruined, or none of these. Now here the correct answer. Now first of all you see this is pretty easy again. Why? Because we have to choose what? The V3 form, which means the past participle, and where is the V3 form? In A, will be ruined. Okay, so will be ruined by the hailstorm. Now others will ruin and has been ruined, both of these they just have the V1 form. Okay. Okay, next, Pihu dash rewarded by the principal in the assembly tomorrow. Okay, now here you see rewarded. First of all, it is the V3 form which is already given. Okay, so that is fine. Now the other you see tomorrow. Tomorrow, it means that we're talking about the future. So accordingly, the correct answer is B. Pihu will be rewarded by the principal in the assembly tomorrow. Okay. Okay, now here, change the following sentences into passive voice. Now this is the second category of question. So we'll be changing this active voice into passive voice. Alright, so let's see. Who broke this window? Who is the subject? Broke is the verb. Window, this window is what? Is the, this window is what? The object. So we change the subject into the object and the object into the subject. So who, this goes back and becomes the object. So it will be by whom. Okay, by whom, and then broke, we use the past participle. So by whom was this window? We use this window broken. By whom was this window broken? Alright, so the correct answer accordingly is here A. Okay. Okay, next. Priya knows me well. Priya is the subject, knows is what? The verb, and then me well. Yeah, object. Now knows, the verb will change into past participle, will use known. So it is then changed. Me is the object which becomes the subject. So accordingly will be I am known. Known to Priya well. Alright. The correct answer is B. I am known to Priya well. Okay, here, this is pretty easy, but it can be confusing as well. This one just says do it. So you have to change it, change the subject into the object and the object into the subject and the verb. It's V3 form, the verb here is do. The V3 form, the past participle is what? Done. Now here, this will be A. Let it be done. Okay. This is easy but a little bit confusing also. Let it be done. Okay, here we have don't walk on the grass. And this one's pretty easy. Like we see the options. This one is you are forbidden to walk on the grass. Now here you see यहाँ पे एक direct what do we say? एक direct question नहीं है ये. But like don't walk on the grass. This is sort of an order. So you can say you are forbidden to walk on the grass. Alright. So here V3 form कौन सी है? Verb of forbidden. Alright. Alright, now next. Did Harry not open the gate of the chamber? Here, okay, did Harry not open the gate? Not open the gate of the chamber. Now the gate of the chamber is the object, so we'll make it the subject. So was the gate of the chamber not? Yeah, open. So open V3 form past participle opened. So was the gate of the chamber not opened by whom? By Harry. Its correct answer is C. Okay, now here we have, he has been singing a song for 2 hours. Okay, so here you see this is what? This is present perfect continuous, and as I told you, for present perfect continuous, we usually have no passive voice. So the correct answer is D. Okay, now next, have they built a house? Here you see they built a house. Now they is the subject, built is the verb, and a house is the object. Now built is already V3 form, past participle. So let's change. Has a house been built by whom? By them. Okay. So the correct answer is B. Has a house been built by them? Alright, we change the subject to the object and the object to the subject. Okay, here we have the children were listening to the song carefully. The children subject were listening is what? Is the verb, then song is the object. So let's change. The song was being, here listening changes, or the V3 form, listened, was being listened to by the children carefully. Okay, so the correct answer is C. The song was being listened to by the children carefully. Okay, here are the last two questions, which are the HOTS question. We just have to choose the correct passive verb. Let's see. The key of conference room dash without permission. Are taking, have been taken, was taking, or has been taken. Now, first of all, you see, we have to talk about what? We have to talk about the past participle, the V3 form. Here the V3 form is in B and is in D. And also, we are talking about the key of the conference room. So this is what this is. This is the third person singular subject. So for that we use D. Has been, not have been. Alright. So pretty easy to solve. The key of the conference room has been taken without permission. Okay, here we have the site dash us with joy and happiness. The site was being filled, were filling, filled, or has been filled. Okay, now here first of all you see you have to talk about the V3 form, which is filled, सब में है. But here we're just talking about simple past, which is the site filled us. Okay, the site filled us with joy and happiness. All right. Others was being filled, were filling. This is past, and has been filled. Has been filled is just incorrect formation. Okay. So with this we finish off with the questions on voice, active voice, and passive voice.
That's all for our class on voices. I hope you have understood the basic premise, the basic rules which are to be followed in converting active into passive. Alright, and as we discussed in the questions, most of these questions are like this only. You have to choose the correct passive voice. So for that you have to know the rules. Once you know the rules, there are going to be hardly any mistakes that you can make. Alright, so keep revising them, keep learning. I will see you the next time. Thank you for watching.